So I just wanted to start off with, like, obviously losing a job. I actually view it as a form of grief because I see that it is a form of loss still. But I would like to ask you, how would you suggest that somebody copes and processes that loss?
I think that you've obviously experienced your job loss. I went through redundancy a few years ago, and I'm hearing lots of people now, not just redundancy and job losses, but restructures and that uncertainty around where their job is going to be over the next 12 months. So I think it is a really important topic to discuss. So I think it's a great first question to ask. I certainly, when I've had conversations with people around redundancy, around job losses, have also talked about it is a grieving process. It is a loss of something, and work's a big part of life, isn't it? We spend a lot of time and a lot of energy in our work. So one of the things that I have talked through with people is the Kubler-Ross change curve. So I don't know whether you've ever seen it. I mean, I think it's a really helpful model, not just for redundancy, but for any type of change. She put it together in the 50s, and it was originally around bereavement and around the grieving process. And basically, there's 3 stages. There's the stage that you're in at the very beginning, and around, you know, that initial response to the news of what that change is. Then you've got a period of transition in the middle, and then you've got the acceptance of, and that word that we're hearing a lot at the moment, the new normal of moving into that acceptance of this is what it is. And I think a lot of people, you know, that initial stage when we hear and we're trying to find and work out what it means for us is probably the most difficult time. But then you get into that stage of acceptance and you try and work out what does it mean and where are the opportunities. And I think there's a great saying, isn't there, that whenever there's a problem, there's an opportunity. And I think for many people, where they have come out of an industry or they've come out of a particular job, whether it's through redundancy or another change that has influenced that, quite often it's an opportunity to take that step back and think, okay, what is it I do want? So I need to look for something else. What is it I want to look for? Where do I want to invest my time and my energy? So I think the change curve can be really helpful to understand what's happening and where you are in that process. But I think for me, I think what I did, and it sounds like what you've done as well, and I think what's really important for people to do is to check in with what is important to them, what are their values, what is it they want from work, where do they feel most fulfilled, where do they want to direct their energy, what's important to them. So I think it's really hard, isn't it? Because naturally everybody says, you know, try and think of the positives, look for the opportunities, and it doesn't feel like that when you first get the news. And I think that's the challenge, but I think there is an opportunity even before you start looking. What do you want to start looking for? So where do you want your next steps to be? And it sounds like that's something that you did in, I mean, you've completely changed the industry that you're in.
Total U-turn. I think that what you're saying as well, like, really just really resonates.